Hey folks, so it's Monday, it's 8 o'clock. You know what time that is. Yeah, of course you know what time that is. That's 8 o'clock. I just told you it's 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
Can I go back in time and reduce? Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it, everybody.
No.
So on this episode, folks, we got some updates. We're gonna be talking about Invincible Season 3 just dropped. Awesome.
Yes.
All right, we've got some solo leveling that I'm gonna be talking about. I'm not gonna spoil anything for Jabba or anything because I'm kind of caught up somewhat because I don't watch subs, but it's all cool stuff. Is fun, and we're going to be highlighting some of our favorite Black characters in animation, gaming, and other places. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know why I just gave you. That's I don't know. I don't know. Jabba, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Then, much like SpongeBob, I don't know why I got definitely SpongeBob vibes when he said I'm ready.
It's always a SpongeBob vibe nowadays.
You know what? Yeah, that's true, folks. Let's go. Hey folks, what's up? And this is TBA News brought to you by the Hungry Bleak Show. I am Antonio Pomares, aka the Hungry Bleak, and as always with me for these anime and gaming journeys, it is
Jabba Chan.
Did you really just sing your name?
I did.
Outstanding. That is outstanding. How are you doing, Jabba?
I'm good. I'm tired. It's cold.
Yes. Today wasn't too bad. Today, a lot of sunlight out. Definitely melting the snow that we got here, but we're going to be getting some more.
Shush.
Unfortunately, I know. But you know what? It's cool because if you do have to stay in, there's plenty to watch, plenty to read.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot going on. Am I right? I mean, but let's show the world why they're not like us here at TBA News. Yeah, I did that, and I don't care. So first up, we've got Invincible Season 3 is up. They dropped the first 3 episodes over the weekend, and they have a schedule of when they're going to be delivering the episodes out as well.
Yes.
I've watched all 3 episodes. You are up to episode 2, I believe, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts so far?
I mean, like, they go right into it. So, like no fillers here or there. I'm trying to see because I feel like I want to kind of go back on the books and see exactly like where they like rip off like certain parts of like the comic. Be like, okay, they do this, do that, but I don't want to do it because that's a lot of research. Okay, that's a lot of issues.
I thought about going back and reading it because I haven't read it since it ended.
Okay, so you have some time.
So my memory's slightly foggy, but I want to go back and read it just because it's one of my favorite comics. It's in my top 3.
Mm-hmm.
And my top 3 superhero comics, and it doesn't change. So those 3 are always those 3. They're actually all tied for 1. It's just great, and I'm loving the way that the anime series does change certain things, but keeps the core there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just cool to see one of your favorite comics animated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To see, like, even though you're looking at the pictures, to see them actually happen, actually movement and everything. I love when I see an overpowered character who's trying to figure out how to use their powers, working out and training. I love that type of thing because it's not like, because you could be as strong as a horse and not really know how to use your strength. So I love stuff like that. You have seen how Cecil became Cecil?
Yes.
That was very interesting to me. I don't remember that in the comic.
I don't either, not to my knowledge, but I do like how they kind of gave Cecil like a backstory because we really didn't know like how Cecil got into the whole business and why he does the things that he does, which I understand from them adding that, so I get it, but he's still a dick.
Yeah, then again, this might be in Invincible Universe or Guardians of the Galaxy, which were 2 spin-off comics from Invincible.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be part of that. I love how with the series Kirkman said that he wanted to do a couple of things differently, and he wanted to give a little more backstory to certain things and flush other things,
Right.
flesh out certain characters. So I believe this was great to see, and it tied in exactly to what was happening in present
Mhm.
day between him and Mark. So that's
Right.
going to be a big adversarial thing this season. Is going to be Mark and Cecil, obviously. This is the part of in the comic I enjoyed this part because this is when like Kirk has had this great thing of doing it. He kind of made the series very meta and almost like a parody of like uh big two comics and how there's always a point where the young hero has to go dark and
Mhm.
starts doing different, it has a different costume and everything. So Invincible did a lot of things like that. They did something with the reboot. They even did. They did a lot of things with Invincible. So this is part of that kind of. It's almost like, oh, I have to go through this stage of making a character dark and seeing how Invincible can balance that along with still trying to be a hero and
Yeah.
everything else that's going on in the comic as far as like the team, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and how the dynamics begin to change completely because someone came back that we thought was dead.
Mhm. You know what I will say also? Like I said, I know we talked about this before. Just hearing the words being like spoken is a lot more funnier than versus like sometimes like just like reading it off the page. Like especially
Mhm.
because like the way Rex comes in a couple times, he's like, whoa, wait a minute, F you. You see this? Yeah, fingers all away. And it's like, a lot more funnier.
Rex is in the comic. I couldn't stand Rex.
Same. Same.
But again, the character's being fleshed out a bit more. You're getting more. There's actually a spinoff as well. Well, it's like a one shot where it tells the story of Adam, Eve,
Mm-hmm.
and Rex. Like it tells both their backstories. They only did it with those two characters that I want to think of that they gave like these one shots, but it was like it told like both their stories
Mm-hmm.
in like one comic. But the character is so much better, and to see the metamorphosis and change, and to see again this redemption arc,
Yeah.
and how he's trying, and you could see it last season where he was trying, where he
Mm-hmm.
was almost where he got shot in the face,
You shot me almost in the face.
and like you know what I mean, and to see that character, I'm trying to remember the actor's name because the actor is one of my favorites. Also, he's been in the Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was in the League. I'm trying to think of everything he's been in. The dude he's just always incredibly funny. He has that great voice. Um, I want to say Jason said, but I'm probably wrong. So I'm just going to look it up really quickly. But he does such an incredible job, and he has such incredible timing
Mm-hmm.
with how he acts and everything. It's just incredible, and he's just an awesome. Like even when he's actually acting, like live action acting, he's incredible. Let me look up. He is. Why is he so far? Also, shout out to Walter Goggins who does Cecil. My God, everything that he does between what was it? Oh my God, he had a show for a while where he was like a divorced father. He has the Fabulous Gemstones. I want to say he's on Vice Principals. Um, uh, he's just Sons of Anarchy. He actually played.
Oh, okay.
I want to say he played a transgender woman sex worker.
Oh.
Like Walter Goggins has such variety and what he can do and say. Oh, it's Jason Matsukas. I hope I'm pronouncing the name properly. He's like if like you've probably seen him a bunch of times and stuff. Like he has a like really thick beard. He was in John Wick 3 also.
Okay.
He was one of Lawrence Fishburne's crew. He was part of like the homeless men that were there.
Okay.
Real thick beard. He has like dark, thick, curly hair. Always funny, always hilarious. He has incredible timing, and the way he he does these characters like these like kind of swarmy, jerky, assy characters, and like when he uses profanity, he has the best delivery live action or voice acting of anyone I think I've ever heard. Ever. Like, he's just hilarious.
Okay, I'm looking him up right now. I think I've seen him a couple of times.
Yeah, you see, like if you've watched like I said, The League, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, John Wick 3, he does some other voice acting I want to say too. He's one of those people that like I would love to just like talk to him for like 5 minutes. Just to be like, I got you always deliver and he's always so great with it. So it's awesome. Yeah, I want to see what else they're gonna do. We're seeing more of the characters as well. We're getting a little bit more of Bulletproof, which hopefully they will do with their hopefully they'll do that part as in the comic where Bulletproof took over for Mark for a while as Invincible. Yeah, which I absolutely loved that. Because when they did the comic, they even did this is the comic again, kind of parodying. They're like, this is a great jumping on point. The new Invincible and everything, making it like, and it was almost like how there was the Ultimate Spider-Man, which was now Miles Morales, and people going, wait, why is he black? Like, what's going on? So it was very funny to do. I'm all in. I watched all 3 episodes already. I actually watched 2, and then I watched 2 episodes, and I watched the 3rd one today.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I honestly couldn't wait.
I'm trying to hold off. I want to do a little bit of a binge.
Well, I would love to binge, but there's so much great stuff out there right now. And I know we're going to be having some stuff that's going to be coming up soon, so I'm not trying to have too much to binge at one time. So when the Invincible comes out, I'm going to watch it. Then there's going to be more stuff that's coming out, and I'm just like, I have to stay up on it because I'm trying to rewatch also the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, because that's coming out this week.
Because Captain America's coming up. There's also going to be The Witcher, Cyrus of the Deep movies coming out tomorrow.
Oh damn! Okay.
Exactly my point. Exactly. There's a lot going on. Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, there's a bunch of wrestling. This is a big week for comics as well, so there's a lot of stuff going on that I'm trying to take it in as I can because I don't want to be like, oh, let me do everything and it's all in one lump sum. But I'm glad that they did. I actually like the delivery of it. You will not be disappointed with the issue. With the issue. I mean, well, it was a comic. With episode 3, you will not be disappointed.
Okay. And
you will get the costume on him. The blue and black.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really. I mean, it does look good in the comic, but it looks even better animated.
Okay.
Somehow, and I'm not sure how, but it looks even better. So, you know what else looks even better now around? Solo Leveling Season 2. You haven't watched any of it?
No.
Okay. But you watched the first season, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this has been crazy. New abilities. Solo Leveling makes me want to play Destiny because it has that same feel. Like I go, because when I'm playing Destiny, I go, oh, this is a new item. I wonder what this will do. I wonder how this will react with my weapons. It's not this, what have you. It has a type of feel to it. We're getting more of the guild. They're coming in more. We're seeing more of that story as well. And they talk about how they're actually looking at him and they're actually looking at when he first became a hunter 4 years ago, when he was trying to take care of his mother and his sister. And they're like, oh, because it's been 4 years since the whole portals and everything like that, all that happened.
Right.
But it hasn't been 4 years since he started to level up like this. Pun not intended, but obviously yes. And how it's happened. He has his new ability now, the Arise, because he is what is it? The Shadow Monarch.
Okay.
It's his new moniker. Yeah. We're not. You know what? Yeah, that's one of the best. Bottom line, that's way better than Hokage. I said it, and I don't care. I don't care. Call me a Shadow Monarch or Monarch of Shadows. I'm all in for it.
I like Monarch of Shadows a lot better.
A Monarch of Shadows does sound better.
It does have a nice ring to it.
So he has that ability now where he's actually able to. It costs him a lot of mana, but he's actually able to resurrect enemies that he's defeated. There's a very comedic one that he does in the second episode of season 2, and it causes some nice comedy moments with the other um his other shadow army that he has. And he actually is able to name certain ones as well. But he gets, what is it? He gets 3 chances. Like if it's a really powerful enemy, he gets 3 chances to resurrect him. At that third one, if it doesn't happen, then it's done. And he starts to play with that more. He starts to experiment more with his powers. He's got a new dagger that he gets from the fight in episode 2 or 3. Awesome. The fights are outrageous. I like seeing him fight, but seeing his army fight as well, especially the two, the knight and the warrior that he has.
Okay.
That fight for him, because he has mages, he has the like the regular knights, and he has even bears.
Bears, okay.
Watch and you'll see. It's actually pretty cool. Actually pretty cool. The way that he starts thinking about outside the box of who can I resurrect and how will they help. Yeah, we start to see more of that. I'm really happy to see more of the guild, because you'll see other ones. You actually begin to see how the inner workings go and how they're connected with him. And then and then at a certain point he says, I need to go get reevaluated to see what his rank is. And yeah, something happens, and I was like, it immediately turned my head, because I was like, wait, that rank is like a crazy rank. All in all, to say, it's incredible. I'm loving the fights have gotten even more spectacular as well, because you're not just getting him fighting, but you're also getting his army, his knights fight. He has a knight called Iron, which is from the end of season 1. The knight that he resurrected.
Yeah. Okay, I think I remember that night. Yeah,
that one. And it just becomes, and they're actually able to throw their weapons to him if he needs it in a pinch, because someone throws a shield to him and he used it, and I didn't know he could do that. So I will say, go watch it, Jabba. After you're done with episode 3, go catch up on Solo Leveling. It's like my ritual thing, because I think it takes it maybe about a week and a few days for the dubbed episode to come out.
Okay, I don't mind watching it sub.
Yeah, so I've been watching them. So on Sundays when I'm cooking dinner and washing dishes, what have you, I'll put my tablet in there and I'll be washing dishes, and I'll just be watching that. And I'm invested totally in bring it. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, go with it. I recommend it. I probably, at the end of this season, I'll probably end up rewatching season 1 and go right through it, because it's so much fun for me. I love seeing his progression and how he, pun not intended, levels up the whole time. It's actually cool. Since this is a genre of animation, like it's almost like an RPG kind of thing, because you watch anime more than I do, so I'm curious, and you're more of an anime watcher and you're more of a gamer than I am. What is a gaming genre that you would love to see incorporated into an anime?
Well, they already did it, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. Well, they've done it, but I wouldn't mind seeing more of it. Is more fighting games.
Okay.
The main 2 ones, obviously Street Fighter from like back in the day, because you had Street Fighter V, and that was like around like the late 90s, and then Tekken came out on Netflix, which was like, it was okay, especially get people into it. But another fighting game, like, I'm gonna throw in one because it's a hidden gem: Bloody Roar, do Soul Calibur, or do
Soul Calibur. Ooh.
Yeah, like do Soul Calibur, or even if, I know it's popular, do Mortal Kombat.
Like an actual anime, because I mean they have animated movies based on it.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking about like a
an actual, like a tournament
anime. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Because they had one years ago for Soul Calibur, I think. Because remember at the time they had like Fatal Fury. They had Virtual Fighter. Had one. Samurai Showdown had one. I think Soul Calibur may have, but I wouldn't be mad at an update of those. I mean, animation is so much better now. The style is ridiculous. Animators are doing the most incredible fight scenes ever. I think we could get some of those now. I'd love to see a Bloody Roar would be awesome because that's such a versatile one that you could do with not just their human forms but their animal forms as well. I would love to see something like that.
I think if I remember correctly, I think Street Fighter V, and I'm saying because it is Street Fighter, I think they were calling it Street Fighter V, not Street Fighter 2 or whatever. But I think that was like a random story between like Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li, and obviously like Bison and all that. But like it was a totally different story from like how like the games were, and even from how the movies were too. Because I know they had like 3 animated movies
for Street Fighter.
For Street Fighter, yeah.
3 or 4, because I know there was one where it was about the Dark Hado. There was the one where it was like the original one where it was like the real stylized heavy muscle one.
Yeah.
But there was, it was 3 or 4. There was an animated series, like a Saturday morning cartoon animated series. There was a not stop motion, but there was a what's the style of animation called? Oh my god. Where it's still images, but they'll have the voiceover over, like the character's actually speaking.
Like a storyboard type of thing?
Yeah. What's the animation called? Oh my god. I can't remember.
Like storyboard almost, but I know it's probably not that, but it's probably like storytelling type of
motion comic style. Okay. Yeah, they had that, which was actually pretty cool. It was actually pretty cool. Thank you very much, Dark King Forever. You sound very Shadow Monarch adjacent.
Or I forgot another one. I want them to do the like PvP style, because they're starting to branch up with like their own story. Since we already have like Arcane, okay, hear me out. Like do ones like Valorant, even though I never played it, or do like Overwatch, because Overwatch, which is one of my favorites, has a whole bunch of different like story arcs per character. I know they have a comic, especially for even if you want to start with like the basic Overwatch team, and even with specials for like was it Blackheart is where like 4 of them are like undercover and they're fighting against other people. Like they could do a whole anime series off of that. Now what? Wow.
I'm here for it. I'm totally here because I love seeing that, like different genres of video games and like animation, doing like different things with that too. But having it, like if you're able to get the license, I get that, because I can think of, because who would have thought that we would have gotten a Tomb Raider animated series? You know what I mean? Who thought that was happening? And we got it. So Bloody Roar would probably be my Bloody Roar, and Rival Schools. Yes, please.
Okay.
Rival Schools was just, oh god, it was just such an underrated gem. If there somehow were able to do an anime where it was Marvel versus Capcom or X-Men versus Street Fighter, I would be so into it.
Or even if they could, even though they already did with one version, they could give us Tekken versus Street Fighter as a freaking anime. Even though we got Street Fighter versus Tekken, but we need the reversal. Just saying, I would still love to watch that.
I would be into it because we got a Baki and Kengan a Shota crossover movie. So I think that we can get that as well. Not necessarily Netflix. I mean, just Amazon is putting out is hitting with animation right now. Especially if we got something. Yeah. Now I really want a Bloody Roar remake as a game. I think I mentioned that at least like once or twice a month. I think I mentioned that on the show. I really want that.
I wouldn't mind a remake of that. That is such a good game.
How many were there? Were there 2?
There was 2.
There were 2?
Because I played the demo for the second one, so all I heard was just like Bloody Roar 2.
Yeah. I had both of them. I played them. I love those games. I used to But when it was back before it was Electronic Boutique, when it was Babbage's.
I think I remember Babbage's.
Yeah, it was Babbage's. Then it was, well, in my mall near me, we had a Babbage's and we had an Electronic Boutique.
That title could go so many ways.
It really could. No, wait. What was it? And then it became GameStop. Yeah. So for a while we had two GameStops in the mall, and there was no point. So they took one and just said, oh, "Okay, yeah, we're gonna get rid of all this." And they went to the other store, but then that one closed down because the mall near me closed down. So there you go.
I think went from Babbage's. I know there was like Babbage's. There was like, was it EB Games?
Yeah, which is electronic boutiques. Like that's what EB stood for.
That's what it stood for?
That's what it stood for. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know.
Electronic boutique. Yeah. I don't know how I know that. I think it may have been on the sign or something like that at one point, what have you, because it was such an awkward name. I was like, that's such an awkward name. Yeah, okay. It's weird, right? Yeah, it was Babbage's, then it was Electronic Boutique, then it was GameStop.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, those were the days.
Facts.
But you know what? It's now. It's here. We've got so much going on, and it's February, so y'all know what that is. It is Black Excellence Month. Well, I say Black Excellence Month because I don't want to just do history. I think we should change the name. Apparently, our president think we should even have it, but whatever. I really couldn't care what he says. So we're gonna spotlight. Yeah, I'm gonna try and stay away from it. Mm-hmm. We're gonna spotlight some of our favorite characters in anime, gaming, and a couple of other places. I don't know why I keep doing this with my fingers. I don't know why. You have an incredible list of characters. I know. So who are you going to hit me with first?
Right. First one is a freaking automatic in the anime community. It's Piccolo. Okay, Piccolo is going to be celebrated. Okay, because we have dubbed him as a black character. Because he's black.
We dubbed him black before we dubbed Mr. Popo.
Yes.
Isn't that odd? Black. Yeah, I swear.
It was just, I don't know what it is. Piccolo has that charisma where he's like a Namekian. I can't say man because he's a Namekian. A no holds Namekian. He's like, I don't play that mess, but he will fight for his people when it needs to be done. So Piccolo,
and he will take care of someone else's child when that person isn't around. It's something about Piccolo. When he takes off the headgear, you swear there's going to be waves under there. Every time you swear you are going to be drowning in waves. You swear it. And then you see his bald, you're like, I thought it was gonna be waves.
He has that look though.
Yeah.
He has that look. That meme look.
You know what aura he has? Remember when Vision said, what does it say? He said, What is mourning if not love persevering or something like that? Mm-hmm. He has that Vashon. Because remember when people started putting a gold chain around his neck, they gave him waves? The same aura. He has that Vashon aura.
Yeah.
Black people don't take nothing seriously.
Nope.
We really don't. But you know, that's what we have to do.
We make it cool. We make it known.
We have to. Piccolo, yes. I totally agree with that. We have adopted him. Yes. We definitely have. He's one of the best characters. One of the coolest characters because he came in as a villain, and during Z he softened his edges when he was taking care of Gohan, but still had that really, like stern way of being. But he wanted him to be okay. He wanted him to be able to take care of himself and do his thing, and he became one of the most popular characters and one of the most beloved characters either.
Yep.
Yeah. That's an incredible turnaround too. I'm going to say for me, I'm going to go with Isaac from Castlevania. Okay. The Forge Master. Such an incredible arc and an incredibly complex character. You figure that it might be just written, whatever, like one-dimensional. He became this character who was very loyal to Dracula because of everything that he had seen humans do, especially being a black man in that age and the abuse that he went through. Being whipped, and all the trauma that happened with the priest, and he began to self-flagellate, I think it's called, where he would whip himself.
Yeah.
And doing that, and he just became this other character once everything happened with Dracula and the downfall of the vampires,
Mm-hmm.
and he found his own way, and even the night creatures that he was creating, he began to have this kind of relationship with them and speaking to them and actually having conversations. He made everything more human. He didn't look at it as just this, I master your night creature. He looked
Mm-hmm.
at it as, let's have a conversation. I created you almost like a parent and a child. He had these conversations with him, and he had that ability because he saw what it was like to have that hierarchy, that kind of class system, being black, and the way he looked at it. And for him to be more trusted than, what was the other Forge Master's name? I can't remember the other guy's name. The guy that the female vampires took, and they made him their slave.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
His
I
name.
can't remember his name for the life of me.
Yeah.
But Isaac was so much of a well-developed character and so deep and intelligent,
Mm-hmm.
and just the way he thought about things in life, even the simplest things he could make just seem so important and so detailed. So that was a character I was like, I watched episodes with him and I'd have to rewatch them just for his part alone. I'd watch the whole episode, but for his part alone in particular, because it was so well done. Yes. But I do love Castlevania in general, but Isaac just made it better. He's just so great. I'll be rewatching that probably this summer.
Yep. Okay, so here's my next pick.
Yeah.
And it's the same person, but it's technically two people. So hear me out. So the next person on my list is Amanda Waller. Okay. But it's Amanda Waller, but it's Viola Davis's Amanda Waller.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I said, like, it's two people, but it's the same person. Like I said, with Amanda Waller, she can take no mess from nobody. Like she was that woman. Like you could get mad at her, but you can't get mad at her because you understand she stood on business. She's trying to protect. And then with Viola Davis playing her, it was like she had the same demeanor that she did in How to Get Away with Murder, where still she stood on business. Like, I ain't taking no mess from nobody.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
Yeah. I can't dispute that. Amanda Waller is the only person that stood up to Batman.
Mm-hmm.
The only person who stood up to Batman and who knew who he was and made little remarks.
Mm-hmm.
Calling him Rich Boy when he was in costume, and he was like, "Oh,
yeah."
And of course, the only person who could stand up to Batman would be a shorter, fat black woman with a bit of a fro, because I love black women. I love black women in general. I love curvy black women, big black women, fat black women. Y'all the best. I love y'all. Mwah. Thank you very much for everything that y'all do. I appreciate you. But that's the only person that could stand up to Batman like that. Superman didn't even stand up to him like that.
No.
And yeah, Viola Davis was the perfect cast. The only other person who would have been a better casting would have been CCH Pounder. She's been for years. She was in oh my god, what's the name of that show about the cops? Shield.
Okay, I'm trying to remember.
She was the black actress. She has that voice too. She actually voiced her for Justice League.
Oh, okay.
She's the only other person who I could think of doing it. I know we've had other incarnations of Waller. We had Angela Bassett,
which
did Waller.
Yeah, she did her in Green Lantern.
Yeah. We also got, I can't remember her name, but she was the actress from
Yes, okay, yes. Now I know.
I want to say Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember her name, but she was like because at a certain time in DC Comics when they did the New 52, they had a Waller, but it was like a thin, little bit lighter skinned Waller, like a more mainstream
Waller. Yeah, no. See, the Waller I knew was like, homegirl was thick, she had a fro, and she took no mess.
Right. And was
never go from a different size for me.
like you didn't see characters like that, and characters who, like you said, stood on business and were that cool. And to have Viola Davis doing it, Viola Davis is either intimidating as hell or crying with snot out her nose. It's two opposite ends of the spectrum. You gonna get great acting, but you're not sure which one you're gonna get in that project.
Right.
It's either I don't care what you do, Batman, rich boy, whatever, or it's like every day I fought and I've been right next to you, and the snot is flowing. She's a great crier, by the way. Oh my god, she cries. It's everything's a mess. But yeah, I can't wait to see what she does in James Gunn's DCU. I've enjoyed her voice acting in Creature Commandos. But it's Viola Davis. I mean, you can't, yeah, god damn, that's a good one.
See, I told you you would like it.
Was not expecting Viola Davis to come out. I was like, I was not expecting Viola Davis.
I'm saying I had my reasons.
Pam Grier also was.
Was she?
I want to say she was too. That sounds about right. And yes, Cynthia Ade Robertson, because she was also on Spartacus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was on Spartacus and Stars. She was, yes. Smallville. Thank you very much, Mechanical. Yes, Smallville.
Okay, so see, I didn't see Smallville.
Yeah, I didn't watch very much of Smallville either, but I forgot. Yeah, but Pam Grier always gets a. Pam Grier is on that other level that it's just like, yeah. Pam Grier, just Pam. She's Pam Grier, Foxy Brown, Coffee. Right. Yeah. Jackie Brown, she's awesome. Oh, damn. That Waller got me. And Waller's had a really big impact on the DC Comics lately, where she depowered all the heroes.
Yeah.
So that's a dastardly pick. Holy God, I love it. This is why I picked the people that I did for co-host, people who could make me go, oh damn, I need to get my levels up. I was not expecting you to throw out Grier on me like that. I was not expecting you to throw out,
And it's funny how I meant, because like she was on my list and I kept on seeing like clips of her and Batman from like TikTok where it's like Batman makes house calls and
yes.
So I'm like, it was destiny for me. I'm like, yes, she has to go in. She's all
in. This makes me want to watch actually Waller versus everybody now. That's what I'm actually gonna need to read that more. Yes. Absolutely. Another one for me. This is a retro one for me. I'm gonna say Afro Samurai.
Oh, okay. Afro.
Samuel L. Jackson. She's just Afro Samurai was a special on Spike, I think, at one point, where it was 4 episodes, I want to say.
And Spike was a channel.
When Spike was when Spike was down. Remember Spike and G4 when they were those channels that we used to get down with? Exactly. Well, because Spike did like Ninja Warrior too.
Yeah, they did.
They had like the old school Japanese one where it had a different name. It was something Castle, I want to say. It was something Castle because they had like the Japanese commentators too, but they just dubbed it some crazy mess that they were, like that. Afro Samurai was dope. There were 2 incarnations of it. There was a 1 and 2 headband, which I loved. Yes, Mechanical's got all the info. Takeshi's Castle.
Yes.
They used to do that. Yes, they used to do that. That was dope. There's the 1 and 2 headbands. So if you're number 1, you can only fight the number 2 headband. If you have the number 2 headband, you have to fight everybody because everyone's always gunning for the number 2 headband. So Afro Samurai's father is killed after going after the number 2 headband and then going up against number 1. And Afro Samurai is trying to go after number 2 to kill number 1 because the person who's holding number 1 headband is the person who killed his father. And it becomes this really engaged, this dope story. And Samuel L. Jackson is the one doing the voiceover acting for Afro, who only speaks maybe like I think 3 times in the whole movie,
Yep.
but then also the little ninja that's with him, who ends up being a figment of his imagination. I remember watching this the first time it came out, and I was floored by the animation. I was floored by Samuel L. Jackson doing a voiceover. I was floored by everything about it, and the fight scenes, and hearing the blade up against the gun of the number one, and the story, and the extra story of you can only number two headband is the only one that can fight number one, but everybody can go for the number two headband. I love that whole story because because from watching me in Destiny, I'll go up against 1,000 enemies. Me, my stasis, and like a hand cannon or just like my auto rifle, and I'll just go at it because I love it. So it was always so. I think it's on Crunchyroll too. I need to rewatch that. I think it's on Hulu as well. I think.
Yeah. No, it's also. I think it's also on Max as well. So they have they have the Adult Swim section, so I believe it is on Max.
Yeah, and there's 2. Like I said, they made the first series into a movie, like just watch all at once, and then the second one, I want to say it was a movie already. You know what I mean? So yeah, like that was just one that, and again, Samuel Jackson, you getting his voice,
right?
Damn, times were simpler.
Gosh. You ready for the next one?
No, but go ahead. I don't know how you should have left Waller at the last one, truthfully.
No, because I
trust you.
My other 2 after this one I'm about to give, I have good reasons for. So this one is, I would say, literally is the voice of our generation, and I'm talking about Cree Summers. Okay.
Yes.
Cree Summers is the voice of our generation.
Everybody.
Like everybody needs to know who Cree Summers is. I mean, even if you watch a different world and you know it from there, or you know as Susie Carmichael or number 5, okay, Cree Summers is that woman. Okay. Can't tell me otherwise.
Damn, yes. Yeah.
Like
I love when they show her and they show everyone that she's voiced.
Yes.
And you're like, wait, that was you too? That
was
yeah. You wouldn't have thought that Freddie would have had talent like that she would have blown up like that. But Freddie Brooks.
Like Cree Summers is that woman.
Yeah.
You would hear it to you like, wait, I know that voice. Wait, that's this voice. That's from this voice. Yes, Cree Summers.
Yeah,
our girl.
She is. Yeah, I mean, you heard her voice and didn't realize that it was her voice. Like, there's so many things that you heard that you didn't know were her.
Like, I know one that still kind of baffles me is that I didn't realize she was what's her face from Inspector Gadget. That she was damn it, what's her name?
Penny?
Yeah. I know it was her.
Wait, you mean the original series? Because I know that there was a remake at a certain point. You mean the remake? The remake of series. It's not a word. It's totally not a word.
Yeah, because if I look up, besides looking up her whole filmography back in the day, like,
because the OG series came out even before A Different World.
I think that was like one of her first ones.
So she was doing that before she was even doing A Different World.
I'm looking it up.
And that's dastardly work if that's true. Because I know there was a remake of the series.
Yep.
I can't remember how.
She was Penny, started in 1983.
Dastardly work, no.
Dastardly
work. And who knew that when we were watching like A Different World? Who knew that? But at that time, Yes, Pharaoh. Mine definitely blown. Mine definitely blown. But at that time, oh, you know what? Mechanical had the information already. She's on point with it. I that's such a cool thing to even think because at that time we never even thought of voice actors, let alone black people as voice actors. We didn't really think about it. We didn't. Oh, that is so dope though to have. So even before you knew, she was already there.
Yeah.
She was already there before you even knew it. That's so dope too because that was a cartoon. He like loved it. Like that was just so cool. Yes, 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 yes.
Because I remember I was watching one of her interviews, and they were talking about like how she got into doing voice acting. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, I was Penny Inspector Gadget." I'm like,
to just drop that.
I'm so, like,
just like yeah, just so nonchalantly. Oh yeah, I used to do that.
Like, ma'am.
But she has that CV to do it. Yeah, Jazz was Scatman Carruthers, I think.
And can we also technically say this is me being a little bit biased on my Disney profile, but she technically was the first Black princess because she was in Atlantis Lost Empire and she played as Princess Kita. Okay, This was before Princess Tiana.
Yep,
I'm making it right. She was the first Black princess. Okay,
yep.
Princess Kita in Atlantis Lost.
Yep.
Nothing against Anika Noni Rose. I'm just saying that technically that's how it was.
No, they're both respectable, both incredible, both talented, both beloved. But yeah, that's true. Kree has been there since the dawn of time. Kree has been there doing it. Damn, how am I going to top that? Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on here? Jesus, what is going on here, folks? What is going on here?
I'm telling you, my list was going to be razzle dazzle. Okay.
The list is top tier. I'm not even going to lie. The list is top tier. The list is definitely top tier. I'm going to go with one from a favorite anime of mine, Fire Force. I'm going to go with Ogun Montgomery.
Oh yeah.
I want to see more of Ogun in season 3. Need to see more of this character. He's incredible. First off, to be named Ogun. If you know, you know. A god's name. I love it. And then seeing him pop up. A lot of times when we used to get black characters like Mr. Popo, they used to look ridiculous. They were just like, it wasn't even brown. It was literally black. Like, they just took a black marker, like 5 black markers, and just colored that sucker in. And they were like,
nail the Sharpie. Okay.
And then give the lips were just like pink. You just like, what? This looks like no one on my block. You know what I mean? Montgomery Ogun is a character of Fire Force. I'm trying to think of what generation he was. I'm trying to think of what generation he was for a fire user. But he would actually have he had like these 2 abilities. He had like his fire spears, which he would use as weapons, and then he had kind of like like an armor of fire, I want to say, if I'm remembering it correctly. It's just so cool to see him burst into the fight because he was someone who knew Shinra from when Shinra was 3rd generation pyrokinetic. Thank you. Yo, Mechanical, why are you are an encyclopedia? What is the yo, it's ridiculous. You are out here just stunting on everybody. This is you almost made me say the word. You almost made me say it. Yes, dastardly work. Thank you. He was with Shinra, like they trained together. And then in the beginning of season 2, when Shinra goes to the other firehouse, like he goes, oh yeah, I trained with him, and they're talking everything. You find out that they're really good friends and everything. He knows them, just hasn't seen him for a while. And when you see him actually use his abilities and his fire abilities, it was so dope. I loved seeing it and seeing the flaming weapons and how I love how everyone's abilities differ depending on their generation, how they train, and just their inert powers. So seeing a black character use fire like that is just so dope to me. I loved it, and it was just awesome. Notice, folks, I haven't gone into comics at all. I'm trying not to go into comics because I would just have a ridiculous list of comics. You know what I mean? But seeing you say Waller, I was like, ooh, that's a good one. That's a very good one
because it's needed.
Yeah, I mean, and Waller is just incredible. So yeah, so Logan was it's just a favorite of mine. He's part of why I wanted to watch more of Fire Force and actually get to it because I saw the character. I was like, oh wait, there's a black character in here. I like the character designs, but his ability was just so cool. I just fell for it.
Okay, so now we're gonna get a little bit different.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna throw in Creed 3 for a highlight from Michael B. Jordan directing it, starring in it, and also having Jonathan Majors from the cinematography, from their fight scene, and then for my ladies for the plot.
Yeah, the plot definitely thickened in that movie. Yeah.
But no, as technically as like a Rocky fan in general, because I did like all the Rocky movies growing up and seeing how they adapted Creed into another franchise, I appreciate that. But especially Creed 3 and how Michael B. Jordan incorporated anime fight styles into boxing.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Which I do enjoy. Yes, we can.
The both of y'all are gonna stop. The both of y'all are gonna stop. All right. I don't with this.
Because especially if you know the scene where they hit faces, is literally a spinning image of when Goku and Vegeta fought. I think when they were first like Super Saiyan 1 and they smacked each other in the cross reference. That's exactly what they did. That's what he was inspired by. Because Michael B. Jordan likes anime, so like I said, I can see why, which is why I appreciated Creed 3 for how he dove into it.
Yeah. He even had an animated series for a while. It was on Cartoon Network, then it went to Chicken Root, or what was it? That Chicken Foot? What the hell is that name of that Rooster something? There was a service for a very short time that had animated series on it, and it was supposed to be one of the up and coming things, and it ended up dying out. It was Rooster something.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
And first, I thought that was thinking like Robot Chicken. I'm like,
no. It was dead set called. It was dead set called something Rooster. I can't remember the name of it exactly, but it's supposed to be the next up and coming thing. Because he had an anime series that was, like I said, was on animated. It was on Cartoon Network. Then it went to the streaming service. Then it went to Max, and it did 2 seasons. It was like a mech series too, which was very interesting. His character was very interesting in the series as well. If you want to watch it, it was very interesting. That's the fact that he did so much with that movie. It's definitely one of those things where you might think, oh, it's going to be a third of the series. It's going to be corny. And it's good. They all played very well together. And he did a phenomenal job. Sometimes his voice acting, I have an issue with because it's very just dry. There's nothing there. His acting is better. Like when he's actually in a live action role. But that's actually a really good one. That movie was like, I remember watching it, and I love how it kind of mirrored a little bit of Rocky and Clubber Lang with that. Like I ended up watching all the Rocky movies one week to get to Creed 3. Right. So I said, I'm just gonna watch them all. And you see how horrible a person Rocky is actually to a certain extent. Because you're like, he killed his father. Let's be real. He could have threw in that damn towel, and he didn't. And Drago ended up killing him. I blame Rocky for that. If you ever watch Rocky, I can't remember the name of.
Was it Rocky 4 or Rocky 3? No,
it was Rocky 4 because in 3 it was Clubber Lang.
Okay,
and
yeah.
then 4 Drago. If you watch Rocky 4, when they're at the funeral for Creed and they're talking about, his death and how it was, look at the trainer. I forgot Creed's trainer's name. It's the bald man. Look at him and how he looks at Rocky, because he knows Rocky killed him because Rocky didn't throw in that towel. Say what y'all want.
Listen
Rocky
and don't judge.
Oh no, I'm judging. Capricorn's gonna judge and throw a shade. That boy killed him. But anyway, yeah. So to see that series just go from like Rocky 1 and then go to 3, and seeing how the development of Creed as a character and the family dynamic. Rooster Teeth. Thank you. Yeah. Rooster
Never
Teeth.
heard of it.
I bet if you look it up and you see the logo and everything, you'll go, "Oh my God, yeah, that." Because it was around for such a short time. It was supposed to be like the next streaming service, the next big thing. But you could only get it on like Roku, I think. And it might have been on Fire Stick, possibly.
Okay. I'll look
It
it
was,
up.
yeah, look it up. Yeah, everybody, yeah.
Okay.
Pepper's Farm remembers. Pepper's Farm remembers. And I ain't no elf. Genlock, thank you. Yes, Genlock was the name of the series.
Genlock. Okay, but not the.
It was actually a good series. It even had a comic book for a little while that was obviously based on the series. Did 2 seasons. It's actually kind of cool, but it was his voice acting just very dry, and I think it just cost him a lot of money too, truthfully, because the animation. But yeah, that's actually a good one. I'm gonna go with recency bias because I thought she was one of the most beautiful characters I'd ever seen, and I love the development of her. This is from Castlevania Nocturne. This is Joita. I hope I'm getting the name right. Droida, right? It was a Droida. I don't have my Drolta. Excuse me, Drolta. I loved one of the most beautiful designs for a character I've ever seen in my life. Beautiful black vampire. She has like black to kind of purple plum colored hair. Just the way she walked into a room and her whole vibe was just, she instantly had that presence. When a black woman walks in the room, your eyes automatically look at the door. I don't care what black woman it is. When she walks in the door, all eyes are on her. They might turn away, but when she walks in that room, all eyes are going to be on her. That was Drolta. My eyes were dead set on her because I was so invested in her character. And sometimes we have to have great villains.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at somebody like the Black Manta is one of the best villains. Or depends on how you look at him actually. But Drolta was just so incredibly beautiful and statuesque, and the presence. And even when she became a night creature, because of the evolution of making night creatures now and the Forge Masters, they could actually talk and everything now. So, and seeing that she was still beautiful and gorgeous, and how she reveled in flying during the day with the sun because she hadn't had that in so long. And even when they showed her origin and how she became herself and how she became a vampire and everything, you felt everything for her. She was a character that you did not, and you started saying, why doesn't she just get Sekhmet? Why doesn't she become Sekhmet? It's just one of the most beautiful character designs I've ever. Yes, mechanical. I would love to go to New York Comic Con and see nothing but Drolta cosplays. I would be like, oh my God, y'all are so. And again, she might be like 6 foot tall or something like that. As a night creature, she's probably like 7 because she had like kind of like hooves and everything, but she still had this beautiful black woman aura and presence and just was there. You know what I mean? We listen, but we don't judge mechanical. We listen, but we don't judge. That's what everybody keeps saying, right? I'm not going to judge you because the design, the flaw, everything. There's something beautiful about black vampires. There is. Black vampires are just beautiful. And when you have a black woman, like I was watching Blade the other day, And Sanaa Lathan, even though her part is so small, but Sanaa Lathan is beautiful to begin with. But then
Mm-hmm.
she's got that vampire aura to her, and it's just there. It's just there. So yeah, she was just and in a season that really paid respect to Black culture and Black folklore, our gods and everything too. To the Haitian slave revolt. There is one issue that I didn't like, but then somebody actually voiced and detailed it for me, and I was like, "That's why I don't like it." There was a part of Nocturne, but that's not for right now. But yes, Drolta, I think is just a beautiful character and the presence. And for a second, I was like, "Look, what if she does get the soul? Hear me out. What if Drolta does succeed? What's the worst that could happen?" I wouldn't have been mad at her if she did beat everybody's ass.
Here. Okay, I have one more to end off my
Yes.
list, and
Yes.
it's a good one.
Okay.
I'm ending off my list because we already talked about her, but I have a bigger. I want to go in more detail, and that is Miss Angela Bassett. Okay, as the Queen of Wakanda, because God damn it, I say she needed that freaking Oscar. Okay.
All you had to say was Angela Bassett. We could just ended the show on you just saying Angela Bassett. We could just ended the show right there, like, amen.
Because her role in Black Panther, yes, yes,
everything.
Her speech in Black Panther, yes, Jesus Christ. But like I said, Angela Bassett, like just overall, love her.
What was she said? Haven't I given everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she still need win that freaking Oscar. Like nothing against Michelle Yeoh. I'm just saying, like she had every freaking award during award season.
She had everyone's attention. Everyone knew that speech. Everyone was there for it.
Like besides, movie,
yeah,
it's like besides Black Panther 2 being a movie of grieving, because we all grieved. It's like you felt everything, and the way she went out, I was sitting. I'm like, I'm done. I need a therapist. Okay, I need somebody to hold me for that whole time. Like, come on. And then now, also on a side note, I find out that she was also in other. She's all starting to get into games as far as voicing, which I enjoyed because she was in Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, I remember somebody saying that, but I hadn't played the game, so I didn't get to hear her voice.
Because I instantly heard it. I'm saying like, I know that voice. She was one of the tribal leaders going against Aloy, and I'm like, that ain't Angela Bassett. I'm like, hold up, pause. I'm like, let me go through this. I'm like, it is Angela Bassett. So
one of the greatest.
So that's just it. Like I said, Angela Bassett. That's yes.
One of the only people who got me excited for American Horror Story when she was on there.
Oh, loved her in Coven. Love her so much in Coven.
And I know a lot of people don't like Coven, and I totally understand why they don't.
I don't understand why you not like Coven. Coven's like one of the best ones.
Because of the way that they represented the culture as far as Papa Legba.
Oh, okay.
As far as like the portrayal of that, because Ryan,
yes, Ryan.
Ryan gonna be exactly. Ryan gonna be Ryan. Ryan gonna do what have you. I liked her in Hotel as the vampire hunter. Because she gave me vibes of, I forgot what his name was. There was a black vampire slayer in Buffy that was killed on the subway by Spike, and her son ended up becoming the principal, and he was a hunter for a minute. So that's when I saw her, I automatically thought of that. And I also automatically thought of like during the 70s when Blade first came out and Angela Bassett in that type of flick and like throwing everything. She's one of our legends, she's a living legend, a living icon. You know what I mean? She just
even And even though it's not technically comic related, but it is Black related because it's Black Excellence Month. Her waiting to exhale scene will live down in infamy when she burns all of his stuff and sets the car on fire and walks away
smoking.
That is the most iconic scene that any woman can do if she gets left. Okay, and that's all we think about.
Well, between that and what's love got to do with it?
Oh yeah,
and she's in the court. I got my name.
Y'all ain't taking my name. I worked too hard for that.
When they were fighting in the limo, and she started getting on him, and you felt it. You know what I mean? And you was like, yes, yeah, like you've been waiting this whole movie for her to just start throwing hands, and you didn't really know the extent of what used to go on between Ike and Tina.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. And you're like, oh, yeah, yes. Angela Bassett all the way. No matter what the project, yeah, she's always been that actress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And continues to be. She showed you what Storm could have been in Black Panther. That's the irony of that.
Yeah.
She could have been an older Storm because when you saw her with the white hair, you was like,
mm-hmm.
We missed our chance. We missed our opportunity. We missed it.
And that's why I didn't mention her. I didn't put her in with Amanda Waller because I say this, she's too pretty for the part. For Amanda Waller.
I think, yeah.
Like for her look, she's too pretty for Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Like nothing against Viola Davis. I love Viola Davis. It's like, you do something, but it's just like the way you see Amanda Waller in comics is like you need somebody that's not always glorified.
That can have that expression on their face.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Viola Davis has shown, if you've ever seen How to Get Away with Murder, Annalise Keating, even the way she walks into a room is like, like she walks into a room like she's ready to fight.
Yep.
When she writes on the chalkboard, she's angry. How to Get Away with Murder. And you said, you like, what? That's like, yeah, yeah. No, you're totally right. Totally right. That, yeah. So, folks, we're gonna end the show on that one. We're gonna end the show on Angela. Hot damn, Bassett. She's just one of the best that we've ever had. Truthfully, she's one of our just living legends, icons. She is.
Mm-hmm.
She is. Yeah. So, folks, we've talked about Invincible Season 3. We've talked about Soul Leveling, and we gave you some of our favorite Black characters across geek culture, not just in anime and gaming, but across the board, and even some things that you may not even know that people did.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. This is why, this is why the show is what it is. We have a lot of fun. We hope you had fun. Thank you, everyone who is listening or watching. Truly appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next time around. Maybe we'll have lists. Maybe we'll have some more news. Nothing's really been happening a lot lately as far as this. We've been coming up with little lists and conversations of things to happen, but maybe we'll get a list of who do we think is the tallest anime character and why? I don't know. Whatever.
Eren Yeager's Founding Titan. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry.
The minute I said it, I was like, she's gonna say something about Attack on Titan. Watch. She's gonna say something about Attack on Titan. Watch.
Well, it's true.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
Wait. True.
Wait, is Big O better than? Is Big O bigger than Titan though?
Well, I mean, like you figure, like if you,
or would Big O not count because Big O is a mech?
Well, it's
but
still
a Titan in essence. But isn't a Titan technically a mech, just a flesh mech?
Pretty much. But like I said with Eren, if he stands up completely as his founding Titan during the run, like Homeboy is huge because he stretches. Okay. If he were to stand up, they need to fly just to get to his head. Okay.
A Gundam bigger than? I think a Gundam's bigger than Big O though. But I'm wondering.
Depends on which Gundam though.
That's very well. I would say they're all bigger than Big O. I want to say though. I feel like
the little short
they're
one
bigger.
the short casual soldier ones with the one eyeball. I think Big O's bigger than that.
Oh, like the older first models, like those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it depends.
I'm thinking, you know what? We'll have this for another time, seriously. Because I'm thinking, like, I know that. Oh, well, what about the angels from Evangelion?
No, they're about this. It's still based on. I would still say depending on the Gundam.
Okay.
It depends.
It might just be because they just look. Anyway, yeah. All right. Well, anyway, folks, this is about to get real deep. Jesus, folks. Oh wait, we got a couple. Let's see what we got going on in here. What do we got? Robotech. I want to say they're taller than Robotech because Robotech, remember, are jets. But then you have the carrier. How big is the carrier? Because the carrier actually becomes. Yeah.
We're gonna have to do a whole size episode. Like, who's the tallest?
Yeah, I'm saying I know there's actually a chart somewhere somebody made, but I don't know how old it is and what it actually no. Who's the? There's a. I would say who do you think is the strongest? You know what? We'll have a whole list of like our
strongest.
That's gonna be a fun list. I'm gonna tell you
right now. I know. Hard. And you know, we'll just stay right here. We'll take out Sailor Moon. We'll just take her out because they already make her number one. We'll just take her out.
I mean, or strong. I don't know. Whatever. We'll think of a list, folks. Anyway. On that note, I am Antonio Pomares, aka the Hungry Bleak, and as always with me,
Jabba.
Folks, have a very good evening. Enjoy the rest of it. Behave yourself if you can, and if you can't, make sure it's fun for all parties involved. Okay.
X.
Exactly. Have a very good evening, and we'll see you next time here on TBA News. Bye.
Bye.